what a doozy of a time we are finding ourselves in. I came away after thinking about and watching all the stuff that took place at the debate and just watching all of the feedback from around the interwebs. And I've come away with the conclusion that the global agenda is at risk. That's what we're seeing right now. There's a lot of people around the globe, or around the flat earth, whatever you want to believe. You crazy people out there. The reality is people are worried. They're a little upset and they're like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Let me break that down for you. Everyone's concerned about the Democrats. Oh, they're worried about what are we going to do now? And maybe that's planned, maybe it's not. Forget them for a second. But let's talk about the World Economic Forum. I just did a video the other day. I gave you a link directly to the World Economic Forum website so you could read it for yourself. And they say they want to renovate and reinvent the food system that's around the world. Klaus Schwab today is a little bit worried because the guy who was weak and allowing basically his entire agenda to go forward is now basically done. I mean, everyone knows this is toast. The USDA just this last few months has basically implemented ear tags, forcing cattle, anybody who travels over state lines, to have these checks. Someone on my videos left a comment just the other day. They were trying to sell cattle over state lines, and they were forced by the USDA to do all kinds of mandatory testing on their animals before they could ship them across state lines legally. Which adds to the cost of, the cattle sellers or the buyers, whoever. That cost gets passed down. See, this is all WEF, World Economic Forum, and Klaus Schwab agenda being pushed through an open door because Biden's handlers, because obviously Biden doesn't know what's going on, Biden's handlers are allowing the World Economic Forum to do whatever they want. Well, that door closed a little bit, or a lot, depending on who you ask, last night. And so the World Economic Forum is a little bit worried today. China, a little bit worried today. With Biden, you had somebody who was so absolutely weak. You had an administration that was so absolutely weak. They have weakened our military, the resolve. We got a bunch of weirdo freaks, furries, joining our military, wearing pride flags on their uniforms. We are a bunch of sad sacks right now. And China was like, man, this is looking great for a Taiwan takeover. Well, that door closed a little bit last night, because if Trump gets in, you're not going to have a pushover like you have with Biden right now. Not to mention, you've got all these illegals and supposedly hundreds of thousands, probably around, estimates I've seen, 400,000 Chinese military-age males that have come into this country who knows what their purpose is. Listen, you can read a history book, and I often do, and I tell people you can tell an awful lot about what's going to happen in the future by reading what happened in history, declaring the end from the beginning, Isaiah 46:10. Nothing new under the sun, right? A lot of times throughout history, the way you take over an enemy, if you can't defeat them militarily on the battlefield, is you immigrate. 400,000 military Chinese males just walking in like the Trojan horse. Yeah. Crazy, crazy times. But that door closed a little bit last night, and so China today is a little bit worried. They're like, ooh, what if they get serious? What if we get someone who's a little bit more serious in the White House, who actually pays attention to what's going on? This might not be good for our Taiwan plans, because they want Taiwan. And they want us out of the Pacific. They want us out of the Philippines. They want us out of Indonesia. They want us out of Australia. They want Australia weakened. Things changed last night. A little bit. Or a lot. So you have Putin's probably the only one who's going to be the winner out of this, because in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below, Putin doesn't want NATO on his border. And that's the big stick. That's the reason why all this is happening. Because we're pushing NATO on Ukraine. And yeah, there's money laundering and all this other stuff going on. But I don't think Trump wants that agenda either. Trump would stop that pretty quick. And so Putin gets what he wants. And we get, hopefully, the avoidance of being drawn into a war where our young people get thrown into the meat grinder. Because that's the next step out of all this. If China takes Taiwan, man, listen, things changed last night. Not just with the Democrats. The Democrats are all in a tizzy today. Who are we going to do? Is it going to be Big Mike or Gavin Newsom? Probably Gavin Newsom. Big Mike has said over and over again that he does not want any part of a coming election. But Gavin Newsom, the easy way you defeat him is you just roll footage of San Francisco streets. Is this what you want, America? I don't know. Who knows? But things changed a lot last night. And I think for the global agenda, things are really in a tizzy right now, especially with the World Economic Forum and so many countries that are signing up for this. They want this implemented, and that changed a lot last night. So what does the global agenda now do, seeing that their agenda is a little bit weak? I don't know. But I'm just throwing that out there. I think it's bigger. I'm trying to zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out, look at the bigger picture. And I think it's not just the Democrats who are in full-blown panic mode today. I think it's also a lot of this global agenda and the Chinese. And again, I think Putin's probably the only one who's like, all right, this is good. Maybe we don't have, because I don't think Putin wants to go to war. I really don't. In war, everybody suffers. And right now, Russia is, I've seen the footage coming out of Russia. A lot of their big cities, they're living large. And their ruble continues to gain ground on the dollar since they went to a gold standard. I think it was 5,000 rubles per 1 gram of gold. So they're on a gold standard now, and their economy is very vastly improving. I don't think Putin wants war. Everyone knows war suffers. Everyone has to do without. Go back and read World War II history books on how the home fronts suffered. Even places that were not in combat zones, how they suffered. They did. They had to give up and sacrifice a lot. Anyway, all that to say, that's my thoughts this morning. I would love to hear your comments below. What do you think is the WEF, is the World Economic Forum? Do you think that they are? I don't think. Listen, the reason why everyone hates Trump is because he's not like them. He's never been to law school, however you want to say it. He's not one of these Yale, Harvard grads. He went to a state college. Oh, how horrible. He's not, he went to military school for, before that. He's not like these other elites in DC, these Harvard, Yale grads, these skull and bones. They hate him. They hate him. They hate him so much. And that's an obvious indicator on why we should look twice at him. And listen, nobody's perfect. But, I don't know. What do you think? I'd be interested to hear your comments. Anyway, hit that like button before you go. It helps YouTube know that people watch and enjoy my channel. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time on the Homestead. Bye. One of the best perks about living off-grid is that I never pay an electric bill. I love being my own power company, but that means when things go wrong, I have to be the one on call. So I try and use reliable components for my power production. For the last couple of years, I've been promoting Oupes solar generators. I've been using them and abusing them, and as it turns out, they are pretty good products. They have power generators for all occasions, and they can be charged by permanent or portable solar panels, as well as AC power. They offer true lithium iron phosphate batteries, and this is important. Recently, a family in my area had a different brand that uses the less stable nickel manganese cobalt, or NMC type batteries. The unit caught fire in the middle of the night. It was a scary situation, and it caused damage to the home, but thankfully nobody was hurt. The generator, as you can see, was a total loss. This drives home the point on why it's so important to employ solar generators like the Oupes brand that uses the much more safe and stable technology of lithium iron phosphate, otherwise called LiFePO4. They offer small generators for travel or for powering an entire home and everything in between. These are great backups to have in a medical emergency, or to power a freezer full of your favorite meat products, or as I have shown in past videos, for even backup AC and DC power sources for ham radio communications. If the grid goes down, you're going to be thankful you have one of these units. You can find the link in the description of this video or click on the banner ad found on the front page of our website at AmericanHomestead.com. Right here, that banner ad right there on AmericanHomestead.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait,